Whether your help is effective depends on the outcomes of your actions. Imagine you've dedicated the last 10 years of your life working on a program to fight against the AIDS/HIV epidemic. You've worked extremely hard running educational campaigns informing those most at risk, financing and distributing protection to those that need it, and advocating for better public health policies. Knowing this is enough for me to know that you're a wonderful person who cares deeply about others. But I don't yet know if you're effective. To know that, I need to know what outcomes your hard work led to. For example, did the communities you support experience a lower incidence of HIV cases? This question is important not just for when other people inquire about your work. It should be an important question for you. If you're in it to actually improve the world, not just prove that you're a great person, you should ask yourself, is what I am doing working? Is there anything I can do to make it more effective and help those I'm trying to help even more? The thing is, if you don't test and evaluate the effects of your intervention, you really have no way of knowing. Think of Play Pumps, the nonprofit we discussed in our first lesson, and the importance of UNICEF's review. If you don't test these things, it's very easy to persuade yourself you're having an impact, even when you're really not. I've experienced this myself. The first project I founded when I joined Google was the Flood Forecasting Initiative, a machine learning-based flood forecasting system that today covers more than 400 million people across the world. Getting started, we had a lot of false assumptions on what people actually need. Coming myself from an extremely dry country, I had assumed that people wanted to be alerted anytime their home is flooded. But it turned out that in the most flood-affected regions, people will often see floods up to their knees as a non-issue, and only want to be notified when floodwaters are expected to reach their waist. To try and understand what people need, what they actually already know, and whether our existing systems work or not, we flew out to do field surveys to get first-hand feedback from people affected by severe floods. We started in Bihar, India, and later continued to many locations around the world. Not only did this help us better understand when people want to be notified, which differed region by region, it led to a long list of other insights that were critical for our ability to build a system that is actually useful. We've learned that many people have their phones configured to English only because they don't know enough English to change the configuration. And so we need to make our alerts multilingual and not assume that an English-configured system implies fluency. We also learned that many people don't understand when we tell them the water depth in inches or centimeters, but do understand when we show them the water height relative to a person or a house. The list of examples goes on. This effort ended up paying off. After working hard to implement all the necessary changes, an external evaluation by the Yale Economic Growth Center found we increased the number of people who take protective actions ahead of floods by more than 4 times.